Hey everyone, I hope you're having an amazing day. The absolutely awesome Karen Charlesworth has asked me to do a little video on the Osborne Travel Incentive about the first incentive I decided to go for and the first time I won the travel incentive. So I've been privileged now to do Vegas, India, Helsinki and St. Petersburg, and we were meant to fly off to Cuba this year, which has now been postponed to next year. Um, and I love the travel incentive. It is one of my favourite incentives the company has. I love to travel. I love being out in the sunshine. It really, really energizes me, and I love spending time with other leaders on this as well. But I wanted to go back to that moment that I decided that I really, really wanted to go for travel. So it was in January 2016. We were at a company gala, and I was just a team leader with Osborne. I promoted to team leader in the January before. I had been up and down with that. I hadn't qualified every month, but I was doing okay. Actually, bizarrely, I've just seen this. I did manage to come out third place top new leader. So I'd won a little award. So I was doing okay, but it hadn't been the most amazing year at all. And then we sat at this gala, and there was lots of excitement. There was lots of people in the room. There was lots of people having glasses of champagne, people going up and winning awards. And it got to the point where they were going to announce next year's travel incentive. No one knew where it was going to be. And Mark took the stage and announced that the travel incentive was for Vegas. And I just got this overwhelming feeling of excitement because Vegas is somewhere I'd always wanted to go. I'd always wanted to go to Vegas, and my husband had absolutely no desire to go there whatsoever. He felt it sounded like living hell. He doesn't gamble, doesn't like lots of noise and bright lights. It isn't somewhere that appealed to him in any way, shape, or form. But for me, it was absolutely somewhere I really, really wanted to go for. And we were never going to go together. We were never going to save the money or put anything aside to get there. So this to me was a golden ticket. It was a way that I could go to Vegas. I could experience that, and it didn't have to come out of my pocket. I didn't have to pay anything. It was work. I had a legitimate way to go and experience this. But I had no idea how I was going to do it. I was to say I was just a team leader. I didn't really have a huge understanding of Osborne. I was ticking by, struggling to qualify some months. So I had no idea. I knew what the criteria was, but I had no real idea of how I was going to make it happen. So my plan was that I was going to do double what the criteria said. So the criteria said I had to help someone promote every season. My aim was I was going to have to help two people promote every season, and so on. Double the volume, things like that. I almost came unstuck on my first month in January. I had this great plan. I promoted to team leader the January before, so I thought January was a fine month for me. I was going to recruit for the first week. All my effort was going to go into recruiting. That was going to get me my volume to qualify in the January, and then I'll go on to help those people promote. That was my plan. The reality was very, very different. Every single conversation I had, everyone came back to me going, "Oh, I want to join at the end of the month. I want to join at the end of the month." And I had no sales volume coming in because my business wasn't very strong. It wasn't particularly very big. And I was in panic mode. I was like, I don't know what to do. I want to go to Vegas so much. And if I don't pass my qualifications this month, that's it. It's gone. At the first month of the year, that I'm taking that incentive off the table. So I decided to get to work, and I dug my heels in, and I just realized it's actually funny because I did live on the assess day. If it was going to be, it was down for me. So I decided I had to get the volume myself, and I started approaching PTAs and schools with a bulk order, basically going, will you pay? Will you do £600? You get 60% of free books. I can get all the books for you wrapped up, done, dusted. And with 3 days to go, assistant head who was acting as head at the local school saw one of my posts on Facebook, said, yes, we've just redone the library, we'd like to get some books in. I literally drove a catalogue around to her house within half an hour, and within the next day she'd put a list together and got the school credit card, and we placed that order, which was insane because that allowed me to qualify. I then worked on helping people get to promotions, and that again took me right up until April. So it was right at the end of the season when I suddenly had 2 promotions. And then I was on fire. Then I decided I needed to do it now. I'd done the first season. I'd hit that box. I just had to go for it. So I was still going to double that criteria. I now had 2 leaders underneath me. And it pushed me to work harder and harder and harder to get through that year. And actually, what I wasn't expecting was the results and how that was going to change my business. I was so focused on Vegas and what I needed to do that I didn't realize it, because I'm going to grab something. Hold on. I just realized I have a check from that year, which I'll show you in a minute. So because I was aiming for that travel incentive, my business picked up in so many other ways. So because I had those 2 leaders promote in April, they then qualified in the June and I got a group leader promotion. I was then working with other people promoting to get through to my next part of the qualification, which meant in August, I got my divisional leader promotion. And then still working with more people meant in October, I got my executive leader promotion. And I've had that title ever since now. So it's coming up to, well, it'll be 4 years this October, which is just crazy that I've been at that level for so long. And it all came down to aiming for that travel incentive. Remember, I was literally just a team leader at the start of the year. I didn't have the accolades. I didn't have the income. And it was aiming for that changed it. And in fact, when we got to the gala the next year and I'd gone up on stage and I'd won my travel, which was just the most incredible feeling. I've tried to find a video of that to show you guys, because I was really, really privileged. One of my leaders, Helen, won the wild card. And there's this beautiful moment on stage where her name gets pulled out and I literally leap into the air. And there's a video of it somewhere. And the tears and the happiness is just insane. And it really envisages what it meant to me at that point to be going to Vegas and to be going with one of my leaders. And that moment was just incredible. But I also got presented with something else when I was on that stage. I got to go up, being the only person that had promoted to executive leader that year, and go up and get recognised for that. And I was presented with this check because it showed the difference in my business from aiming for the travel. So in November 2015, my pay was £697.24. By aiming for the travel, by giving it my all and my business turning around because of me aiming for the travel, November 2016, it was £7,334.33 for 1 month. And that changed within the 12-month period to that, which is just incredible. That felt like winning the lottery. That was a huge, huge amount of money to come into my bank for 1 month. In fact, the October pay was similar to that. And I'm very lucky now that every Christmas my pay is that or above for those months, and for some other months. That this year's bonkers anyway. And that's all because of the travel, and it's from going through it. And it's so achievable for everything. So I went on that travel incentive to Vegas with one of my leaders who won the wild card. The next year was India, and I had 5 leaders come with me to that one as well. It is a very, very, very achievable if you plan it out and if you're willing to do the work when things get tough. I hadn't planned it out. I'd only decided to go for it on that January. So I had a whole mountain to climb to do it. If you start planning it now, you are going to really have the best chance. It's not even a chance. It's there for the taking. You decide if you want to take it or not. It is there for you to go for. If you haven't joined Usborne yet, you have the opportunity to join now, get your promotion to team leader, and then still hit the travel incentive next year. That is there for you as well. Anyone can be on that plane to the next travel incentive. You just have to make a decision that you want to join, you want to go for it, and you want to make it happen. So Karen, I hope that's helped. The travel incentive is my favorite incentive. I love it, and I would urge every single person to go for it. Have a great evening, guys. Bye-bye.